I hope I didn't wake you. I pray you will forgive the unannounced visit, but I wish to speak with you before retiring for the night. About Garlemald, and the time we spent with the people of Tertium. Dangerous though it was, I'm glad we had the opportunity to treat with Eulus and Quintus. I was worried what might happen after we were collared. If they attempted to restrain you too. If they succeeded. Once more, I put you in harm's way, and for that I must apologize. Or rather, I should thank you for trusting in me time and time again. After all our journeys together, I dare say I've used every expression imaginable to convey to you my gratitude. Nevertheless, I hope these words of mine still carry some small weight. Tomorrow, our fight continues. Mayhap it would have been better to seek you out after we have true cause for celebration. But having mustered the courage to stand up to Father and achieve a personal victory of sorts, I wanted to carry on in that spirit before my nerves got the better of me. The hour grows late, and you doubtless tire of my ramblings. I have a letter for Orenvold to finish, but we'll be off to bed shortly. Sleep well.
Craving a midnight snack, were you? I did consider bringing a few sweets, but decided this wasn't an appropriate occasion. I couldn't sleep. Had a few things on my mind. I know it's late, so I'll try not to talk your ear off. It's Xenos. I keep thinking back to Garlemald when he'd taken control of your body. An altogether terrifying experience, to say the least, and one that served as a harsh reminder. No one, no matter how strong or quick or clever, is invincible. Not even you. And as much as it might seem at times that you are, one misstep, one mistake, and that's that. Which is why, even though I know you've heard it 1,000 times before, I'm going to tell you to take better care of yourself. Because you really, really should. It goes without saying that we're all committed to this fight. But that doesn't mean that we need to throw our lives away. You know how I feel about noble sacrifices. Right, that's settled. We'll be keeping the acts of gratuitous bravado to a minimum. When I looked Father in the eye and swore we'd find a way to avert this tragedy, it wasn't a promise just for him. It was a promise for you, too.
Evening. I hoped you hadn't crawled beneath the covers just yet. If you'll indulge me for a moment, I have a favor to ask. Don't worry. Nothing desperate or dire, if that's what you were wondering. Not yet. You know, we may have quite literally entered our final days. The ancients went so far as to call it that for a reason. If so, then everything we did for Reen, for the first, will have been meaningless. And I can't accept that. I just can't. My mind won't allow for the possibility. And that could be a problem. When we're in the thick of it, I don't know if I've got it in me to be pragmatic this time. To run, even if running's the right choice. The only choice. So if you see me turning a blind eye to the harsh reality, beat some sense into me, would you? I trust you and the other Scions with my life. And I'd like to think the feeling is at least occasionally mutual. And I never forgive myself if my stubbornness put them in danger. Gods, listen to me. Beginning to sound like the father I never had. So, can I count on you to keep me in line? I can think of no one else more eminently qualified. Excellent. Now I can breathe a bit easier. Which isn't to say that I will, given what we're up against. Let's keep this little chat our secret. I'd rather not have anyone scolding us for burning the midnight oil.
You're still awake. Good. Might I trouble you to stand still for a moment? Nothing appears out of the ordinary. A precautionary measure. You will recall that serving as a vessel for abundant light in the First very nearly ended poorly. In your recent battle on the Moon, you were almost certainly exposed to similar, if not greater, forces. Fortunately, from what I can see, you and your ether are none the worse for wear. Would that Reen were here to confirm my assessment. To think you actually found yourself in a direct confrontation with Zodiark. As if Xenos gallivanting about in your body was not misfortune enough. Did you so grossly offend every single deity in a past life that they saw fit to place a curse upon your soul? Forgive me. That was in poor taste. I recall vividly how battered and broken it was in the depths of Amarot. Would that you could have seen it with your own eyes. Mayhap then you would understand why the greater part of me is glad you did not. It was a horror beyond description. Promise me you will be careful, that you will seek my counsel if you feel unwell. That puts my heart at ease, if only a touch. I suspect it will grow colder as the night wears on, so do be sure to stay warm. Sleep well, and may the shadows keep you.
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to... If you could spare a moment before bed. Thank you. I fear this may be the last quiet night we have to talk for quite some time. I am troubled of late. Unwarranted concerns, perhaps. I hope. Nevertheless, I feel compelled to share them with you. Though you have bested your enemies thus far, Xenos and even Zodiac, your victories have come at a considerable cost to yourself. No one is without their limits, and you are no exception. I worry the added weight of the final days will prove more than you can bear. It is surely too much for any one woman. But you needn't bear it alone. Let me share your burden. My, carrying capacity pales in comparison to yours, but I could still help. Shoulder the occasional satchel from your ever-growing mountain of, baggage. You have already done so much to help relieve me of mine own encumbrances. 'Tis only fair that I repay you in kind. Of course, it needn't be only troubles we share. Moments of joy may seem few and far between now, but there will come a time when we look back fondly on this journey. The inquiry at the Forum, our march through the snows of Garlemald, our impromptu dinner in this very room. All of it. And that is to say nothing of the journeys yet to come. To the ends of the world and beyond. But tomorrow will be no less busy than today, and I've kept you from your rest long enough. Sleep well, my friend.
You're alone. Good. The twins thought now would be a wonderful time to pay a visit to my chambers. Rather than listen to them bicker over tonight's snacks and tomorrow's plans, I seized the first opportunity to make my escape. To their credit, they decided against intruding on your peace and quiet. Can all be a bit exhausting at times, can't it? I wasn't sure what to make of you at first. During the Dragon Song War, how quick you were to take up a cause not your own. But I came to see that is simply the way of you and yours. I will not pretend to understand this talk of ancient primals and the final days. But I trust in your judgment and choose to believe in your cause. You and Alphinaud have my lance, now and always. You'll need it. Rack and ruin looming on the horizon. Calamity bearing down upon us. There's no place I'd rather be than here. Standing shoulder to shoulder with friends on the front line. So do not hesitate to send me against your enemies. I'll make them rue the day they met me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I could do with a little air. If Alphinaud asks, I was never here. Until the morrow.